Zoink Scoob! Inferno's trying to destroy this WWE Raceway! Random King! Good thing the Undertaker's here to help us out! Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, the media guy, with another wonderful movie review. And yes, I know that you guys are not gonna get used to me filming my reviews in my living room. But hey, still doesn't hurt to do something creative. And as you saw from the title and thumbnail, I'm gonna be doing a revisited edition review of Scooby-Doo and WWE Curse of the Spirit Demon. And man, what a name. And if you guys saw my original review of this movie, which was part of a double feature review with the first WWE movie, which I also covered yesterday as a different revisited edition review, I assume you guys pretty much know what to expect. But just in case you guys want a little reminder or recap about what this movie is all about, here is the description. It's pedal to the metal as Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, and the gang team up with the superstars of WWE in this high-octane, all-new original movie. When Scooby and Mystery Inc. visit an off-road racing competition, it's not long before strange events starts to occur. A monstrous phantom racer, known only as Inferno, is causing chaos and is determined to sabotage the race. Oh boy. It's up to Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, and their new driving partner, the Undertaker, to save the race and solve the mystery, along with other WWE superstars such as Triple H, Paige, and Sheamus. And it's time to start your engines and your appetite, because Scooby-Doo and WWE are chasing down adventure at last, just for you! Okay, so just like with the first Scooby-Doo WWE crossover movie that I previously talked about, this one is also a lot of fun in its own unique way. Most of the WWE superstars came back along with some new ones. The animation is still spot on perfectly. It still has some decent animation, especially for direct-to-video standards. Though the villain, Inferno, was quite a menacing villain. And the plot is also very interesting with a beginning, middle, and end. And I will admit, I do like the idea of WWE doing some kind of racing show. And though in real life that's something they normally wouldn't do. It's also great that I got a chance to revisit this film again, after covering it a few months ago. And it feels like all the WWE superstars, even some of the recognizable ones that appeared in the first movie, including Vince McMahon, do have more of what to do with this movie compared to the last movie I covered. Especially with the inclusion of the Undertaker. And he's kind of like the Grim Reaper, but into wrestling. And yes, I know some people would have some issues with this movie, and how it could have been like a crossover with Speed Buggy or Wacky Races. Now, and to be fair, I do understand where most people are coming from, because the idea of Scooby-Doo doing a crossover with Wacky Races or Speed Buggy probably would have been a much better idea, in my opinion. But you know what? I'm not gonna make a big fuss about it, because this movie is still fun in its own way. And I gotta admit, seeing the Mystery Machine being turned into a ginormous race car is quite interesting.
I mean, just look at its design. I'm letting you guys get a good glimpse of it for a few seconds to admire how cool it looks. So like I said a few minutes ago, I think Inferno is quite an interesting villain. I mean, he started out as a sneaky race car driver back in the 1930s. But let's just say he kind of met his demise during a cliff-related accident. But still, the way Inferno looks in this movie is still creepy. I mean, he looks like a zombie. No, he's like a zombie and a devil combined and became, boom, Inferno. And throughout the entire movie, The Undertaker doesn't seem that scared of Inferno. I mean, I don't blame him, since creepy is sort of his thing, to be honest. I gotta admit, it is also pretty cool seeing Shaggy and Scooby team up with The Undertaker during this race while trying to solve this mystery of Inferno. I mean, there are a lot of red herrings and suspects in this movie, like Dusty Rhodes, Big Earl, and Vince McMahon, for example. They're kind of like the main suspects of the movie. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I didn't spoil who Inferno was from my original review because, well, I assumed you guys don't like spoilers, which is totally understandable. But I'll let you know who he is, and spoiler alerts. Let's just say that Inferno is really Triple H. In fact, Triple H wasn't the only one. It was Stephanie McMahon. She was also behind this whole Inferno scheme. The reason why? Well, I guess they wanted to win the race, and I guess Stephanie wants to prove to her father that she can be in the race, since it was technically her idea to do this whole Mondo X race competition. So I'm not sure if this Inferno thing was sort of a publicity stunt or not. And I gotta admit, seeing the other WWE characters interact with each other in their own wacky shenanigans often got a chuckle out of me. Especially The Miz. I mean, whenever he's on screen, I always get a little bit of a chuckle. And I can see why Scooby-Topia really seems to get a little bit of a chuckle whenever he's on screen. And yeah, I guess The Miz can be a bit of a hammy show-off from time to time. And at least he was, and I also like how he was I like how The Miz was able to put Inferno in some kind of four-legged lock when he stumbled across Inferno tampering with one of the cars. Well, technically, Shaggy and Scooby spotted it first, but still. I guess he didn't want to make a fool of himself like last time when he faced the Ghost Bear during his late-night jog. Oh yeah, speaking of which, the Undertaker does give the Ghost Bear a nice shout-out, indicating that he must have found out about Shaggy, Scooby, and the rest of the gang solving the Ghost Bear mystery with John Cena and the rest of the WWE superstars. So I'm guessing this one and the first WWE Scooby-Doo crossover are canon within each other. I mean, they should, you know? And I like how when Shaggy and Scooby were serving food in their food truck, one of the items one of the items was named Skinny Man and Dead Meat, which is a nice callback to their wrestling names from the first WWE crossover movie. So I'm guessing we had like 3 Easter eggs in this movie. Skinny Man and Dead Meat being referenced, as well as the Ghost Bear being referenced, and the Miz going on a late night jog while encountering the villain of the week. So I guess there's like 3 awesome references in one. I probably didn't mention this before in my original review, to be honest. Oh well. Wait, did I? I probably did. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know down in the comments below. And I gotta admit, the film just had like creative ways to promote the movie. Like Scooby as a mascot character interacting with some of the characters. And especially the Miz interrogating Scooby-Doo about not being on the cover of the DVD. In fact, I'll leave the links to those videos down in the description down below, so you guys will know what I mean. The Miz interrogating Scooby about the DVD cover, and R-Truth and one of the Star Boys hanging out with Scooby-Doo. And trust me, those are like funny and creative ways to promote the movie. Probably their own type of publicity stunt or something. And I guess Scooby and WWE was still popular at that time, which I totally understand. And before I wrap this up, I will point out that yesterday I did find out that this movie will be 10 years old in a couple of months. Yeah, in about 5 months and 24 days from now. Yeah, this movie will be 10 years old in 5 months and 24 days from now. I mean, I didn't even know that Scooby-Doo and WWE Curse of the Speed Demon will be 10 years old in a couple of months from now. I know time goes by fast when you're having fun, but not that fast. And like I said in my original review of the Scooby-Doo and WWE movies, it was actually nice of the filmmakers to dedicate this movie to Dusty Rhodes, who sadly died a year before this movie was released. And it's a shame he never got a chance to see it. But it was still nice of the filmmakers to dedicate this movie to Dusty Rhodes. And this isn't the first time a Scooby-Doo movie would dedicate somebody, since Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island was dedicated to Don Messick, who was the original voice of Scooby-Doo decades ago. And I guess Don Messick's name was somewhat referenced in the movie Scoob, when Dastardly and his minions were heading for Messick Mountain. So I'm guessing that's technically 3 Scooby-Doo movies that was dedicated to someone, and two of them were WWE wrestlers, as well as the original, as well as one of them being the OG voice of Scooby-Doo. I guess we all gotta expect something interesting these days, you know? So I honestly think Scooby-Doo and WWE Curse of the Speed Demon might be a little bit ridiculous in my opinion, but it's still a lot better than the first one. And yeah, I know that this movie could have been like a crossover with Speed Buggy or Wacky Races. Since Warner Brothers does own the entire Hanna-Barbera library, other than Scooby-Doo and Tom and Jerry. I mean, it makes sense, considering how Scooby and the gang met Speed Buggy before in Laugh Olympics and the new Scooby-Doo movies, and they even met Dastardly and Mully and Penelope Pitstop before in Scoob and Scooby-Doo Team Up, for example. Easy come, easy go. I'll give this movie 5 race car flags out of 5, since that's how great this movie really is. And if you guys have any fond memories of this movie, just let me know down in the comments below. And happy early 10th anniversary
to Scooby-Doo, Kurt, and WWE, Curse of the Spear Demon.
This is still one amazing movie for everyone to enjoy.